All right,
Boom,
it's
baby.
9 o'clock on this Friday night. This is the Live Zone Prime Time.
The finish line.
We made it. I'm producer Chris. This is Tony P. We still have 59 minutes and 45 seconds to go, so don't get too excited.
Listen,
too
there's
early.
no other place I'd rather be on a Friday because this is not work for me. This is a craft, so I am enjoying this.
Tony P. You always say the right things.
No, but I mean, listen, I'll tell you, I'd rather be doing this late at night than doing a job I can't stand during the day. So
I respect that.
Amen to that. Yeah. And I'm so happy to be here.
Well, thank you very much.
Friday.
We're thrilled to have you here. And
I'm thrilled to be here.
You know what? Tony P is going to get even more excited in just a minute because we are starting things off on this Friday night. First of all, thank you to everyone out there who's watching right now, whether you're watching on fox5dc.com, whether you're watching on Fox Local, or if you're watching on Fox 5 DC's YouTube page. But if you know Tony P, you know the one thing he geeks out more than anything else is when we start talking about weather. And we are talking about winter weather because more snow is on the way to the DMV. Despite the fact that he calls Boston home originally, and he should be a little tougher about it, he hates the snow, he hates the cold, he wants to retire to Florida, he wants to play golf. 24/7, 365.
I mean, 3 days a week I'd be happy with.
3 days a week.
Maybe 4 days.
So he needs the weather in at least the 60s or the 70s.
San Diego weather I'll take.
I get it. I understand. But look, we are keeping an eye on the skies, on the forecast. Supposed to arrive late Saturday night, early Sunday. It's going to be cold as well. So falls will stick. Mike Thomas is going to join us live in just a little bit. For a full forecast, we'll get a full update on what
Get ready, Mike. I'm coming for you.
So yeah, that'll be coming up in just a few minutes. The other big thing we're watching this weekend, though, this man right here, John Cena, Saturday. He is going to be right here in Washington, D.C. Before that snow begins, we're going to see some history in the making right here in the nation's capital, like I said, wrestling history, that is, because after nearly 25 years in the WWE, John Cena, one of the greatest professional wrestlers of all time, is calling it a career. He will climb into the ring for the last time Saturday night, and he's going to do it at Capital One Arena. And downtown D.C. is rolling out the red carpet for the superstar and his fans. Right now, you are taking a look at some of the charity work this man has done, and he has done more than a lot of other people. In fact, he is a record holder when it comes to Make-A-Wish. But before the main event downtown, I got a chance to talk to Mike Johnson from PW Insider, the top pro wrestling website in the world, all about John Cena's career and his legacy. Take a look. All right, 17-time world champion John Cena climbing into the ring one last time this weekend right here in Washington, D.C. Mike, before we talk about the match itself and some of the celebrations around it, can you talk to me a little bit about John Cena's WWE legacy, his impact, and what he means to fans?
Well, I mean, he's a 17-time world champion in WWE, but more importantly than that, there was a long period in the company where he was the top star. So effectively, the way fans looked at Hulk Hogan in the 1980s, that's kind of how John Cena was seen upon by an entire generation of fans. Like, he had the whole deal, hustle, loyalty, respect. He was their ultimate hero for much of his run in the company and was the linchpin for the company. It was John Cena, and then it was everybody else for a big part of the company, and a big part of the reason they're so successful now on a global scale with new owners like TKO and with their international touring and whatnot is that John Cena helps set the table. There is an entire group of fans who their formative memories of professional wrestling will be about John Cena and the battles he had against the dastardly Randy Orton and CM Punk and gentlemen like that.
So it's funny because the very next thing that I wrote down here was for non-wrestling fans, when it comes to crossover mainstream stars, you've got Hulk Hogan, you've got The Rock, and you've got John Cena. I mean, even my mom knows who he is. So what do you think it is about him specifically that made him such a huge star, both in the ring and outside of it?
Kuzma first and foremost. Obviously, he was blessed with an incredible body, and he was incredibly steadfast and extremely dedicated to his workout regimen. But the charisma is what makes or breaks you in professional wrestling. There's something likable about him. He had a great gift for gab, and he found a way to connect with the audience. And if you look at his WWE run and then later his stuff in Hollywood, whether it was doing movies with Amy Schumer, where he was willing to act the fool, or it was Peacemaker, where he was willing to really push himself as an actor as well as do physical stunts, there was something that allowed him to connect with the audience and make them like him. And even if he wasn't always the most likable character on screen, there was something about him. There was a magnetism, there was a charisma that made you pay attention to him, the same way people paid attention to The Rock or Hulk Hogan when they crossed over into that world. There's just something about John that he knows how to play to the camera, he knows how to play to the audience, he knows how to play to the person in the room, and it's undeniable. He just, he had a gift for charisma and a gift for performance that most people are just not blessed with.
Yeah, and I mean, I will give him a lot of credit, too, in terms of his relationship with his younger fans, because he is one of those guys who will make their day. He has been involved in so many Make-A-Wish events for children, and he has done multiple things with us right here at Fox 5 in Washington, D.C., and I think it really speaks to who he is as a human and not just the character that a lot of people knew him for in the ring or in Hollywood. As for the match itself this weekend, he's facing off with the ring general Gunther. What are you anticipating there?
I mean, the time-honored tradition, as they say in professional wrestling, is that when you exit the territory, you exit that stage, you do something to make it grander for the people that are going to follow you. The most commonly believed theory is that Gunther is going to win the match. However, I would almost argue that this is a once-in-a-lifetime occurrence. John is a very unique personality, and if anybody deserves that one last home run lap where he gets to be the hero on the way out and gets his hand raised, it should be John Cena. I wouldn't be shocked if it went either way. Gunther just beat Bill Goldberg in Goldberg's retirement match over the summer. I think John should win this one. I think John should go out the hero. He's one of the all-time greats. He's going to be part of their pantheon and their Hall of Fame and their history forever. I think one last time where he salutes the audience, he runs to the ring, he does the greatest hits of all the moves, the five-knuckle shuffle and the AA and all the other things that make the crowd happy, and then he leaves the hero. And until, inevitably, maybe one day he comes back, he says he won't. I tend to believe him, but you never know. The lure of performing has a way of drawing people back into professional wrestling, even years after they've initially said they're done. But yeah. I really do believe for now this is it for John.
Are you expecting any major surprises or cameos along the way this weekend?
I know that WWE had reached out in the last couple of days to some of the Hall of Famers to try and get them to show up, do cameos, either backstage or at ringside. I've heard names like Kurt Angle tossed around, Mark Henry, Booker T, but, it's wrestling, it's live television, so until they're there and they're on the camera, anything can happen. So,
obviously, this is happening right here in our nation's capital, a huge free fan fest taking over downtown D.C. ahead of time. What can you expect, and what can fans expect from that?
Oh, a lot of interactivity. There'll be a lot of wrestlers and people from WWE, different personalities, doing photos, doing autographs. I would assume there's a lot of community outreach going on as well. They're big on raising money for charity. They're big on giving back to communities. I would assume there's all sorts of different carnival type events and just sort of a celebration of John Cena's career and the different stages of his career and everything that he did for the audience. That WWE is something that's generational, and whether you're a dad or a grandfather or a grandmother or a kid, there's something about it that appeals to different generations of the audience. That good versus evil is a universal story, and WWE is very good at telling that story. And John Cena has been one of their greatest heroes. So I think it's just going to be about celebrating his run and celebrating what they bring to families.
So one of the things WWE has been great about is that sort of next generation, like you just talked about. I grew up on Hulk Hogan, the next generation grew up on The Rock, and people who grew up on John Cena. Who inherits the mantle now? Who is their huge star? Who is the one that we are going to be talking about in 10 years from now on their big exit type of a thing?
Oh, I think he's already at the top of the company. The WWE champion right now is Cody Rhodes, the son of Dusty Rhodes, one of the WWE Hall of Famers. There is something about Cody where kids have connected to him ever since he's returned to WWE as the American Nightmare. And I don't know if it's just, the innate charisma that he carries, or it's the bright colors like Hogan had, but there is something authentic and legitimate about children and how much they care about Cody Rhodes. So if you're going to ask me who's the next guy, it's Cody Rhodes. Because, I mean, some people argue it's CM Punk. I think CM Punk had some of his glory days in the past. Obviously, he's enjoying his run now. But I think it's Cody Rhodes. That's the linchpin and the central figure for WWE over the next decade.
Yeah, and I actually just yesterday saw the first posters for the new Street Fighter movie that has Cody Rhodes in it. So he's kind of making that crossover into Hollywood as well.
Right, yeah, he and Roman Reigns both have roles in that movie. It's coming out in October.
All right, Mike, so if people want to follow you for more wrestling news, more wrestling information, how can they do that?
Oh, they can visit us at pwinsider.com, or they can follow me on social media very easily at Mike PW Insider.
All right, Mike Johnson from PW Insider, thank you so much for spending some time with us on the Live Zone.
Thanks for having me, and happy holidays.
Happy holidays. All right, and Saturday night's main event, a.k.a. John Cena's last match, will stream on Peacock. The Fan Fest runs from 2:30 to 6 p.m. down outside Capital One Arena. It's free, but you do have to register. And if you want to try and watch the fight in person, Tony P, it is going to cost you. The cheapest tickets right now running around that $415 mark.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, so they go all the way up to like
$1,500. I thought about picking one up quickly, maybe doing like a last minute ticket.
There's room, but
that's, I mean,
look, his influence is undeniable. I'm not a huge wrestling fan, but I am a big Peacemaker fan, and he's also been, he's been a great friend to Fox 5, admittedly. He has been on our air live multiple times, both for his projects outside of the wrestling ring, Hollywood, and charity. So we've had the good fortune of talking to him several times. So he's always been a class act. So
just such a role model, I think. I mean, he was, again, the records show it. I mean, 2003, 2005, 2025. That's a 22-plus year run. He was and is the longest running star in WWE history.
Champion.
I mean, think about that. I mean, I remember when I was a kid and I first started watching wrestling, I was in kindergarten, first grade, and John Cena, Monday Night Raw, all that stuff was a big part of what you watched as a kid, and he brought so much joy to so many kids in my generation. We grew up with him. He is our Hulk Hogan. He is the most I'd say,
and
electric ever.
The craziest thing is you can't even see him.
No, I mean, like,
anybody?
Oh,
come on! Come on!
Good.
All right. In John Cena's honor, though.
That was really good.
In John Cena's honor, and at the direction of the man standing off to the wings, weighing in at 200 and something pounds.
Wow! We got the polar
Please
vortex.
welcome to the ring, the one and only,
the tornado,
Mike Thomas.
Can you smell what the weather center's cooking?
All right, I need to take a sip of water after that.
Now, John Cena or The Rock, who do you think is like the king of kings in terms of WWE?
I think the most recognizable could be Dwayne The Rock because of his movie career.
That's fair.
But I think the best champion is John Cena.
Is
because
John,
he has,
all right,
he has the
all
records.
right.
I mean, he's also like the LeBron James of WWE because of how wonderful he's been in the community.
But if that makes...
And they were in a movie called Trainwreck
That's
together.
right, they
See
were.
how I did that? All
With
right.
Amy Schumer,
Mike,
she's the best.
This is a major event on Saturday
Yes.
night, though. There's another major event on Saturday night, and that's why you're here, though.
Right. So in terms of this event, and this is going to be a little different, and we are switching over to a little snow talk as I lean into Tony P's microphone here. We're talking snow. Look, the timing's going to be helpful this weekend, whereas before, when we were talking about the snow coming in, it was going to impact the schools. Most folks don't have many places to be. Maybe you're going to church on Sunday morning. You got to watch out for
watching football.
Watching some football in the afternoon. If you're watching football, you're inside. You're
True.
fine. You're fine.
Maybe you'll be shoveling though.
I don't think you need to do too much shoveling.
That's good.
Here.
That's good.
Let's jump in. I'll throw the graphics up for you, nice and full screen. It starts with cold, right? And one of the questions we always get is it going to stick? And look, every day, I'm showing you the last 2 weeks, 13 days here, and every single day has been below normal. We've dropped below freezing on many nights. So the point of that graphic, the ground is cold, and we're at 32 degrees right now. And I want you to look at what's coming our way out to the west. Look at some of those numbers. Winnipeg, 15 below zero, 27 below zero. Saskatoon, We've seen numbers up that way of 50 degrees below zero a couple of times this week. Now, we're not going to get that extreme. It is that air mass that's coming down towards the DC region. Anytime you get a strong push of cold down out of Western Canada, on the front side, you're going to get a kind of this surge of southern air. That'll come tomorrow, where our temperatures in some spots could actually get up near 50 degrees. But once that cold air starts coming in, that air that comes from the south brings up some moisture with it, and the cold, dry air coming down from Canada, slamming into that warmer, moist air, is what's going to squeeze out some cold here in the DC region. We'll skip that map. That map shouldn't be blank. What did you say, Tony?
I don't know enough that it's not blank. I mean, that blank works for me.
That's fair. All right, 19 degrees right now, current temps. I mean, look how cold we are. 19 Frederick,
Wow.
27 Westminster. It's a cold Friday night out across the DC area. Nothing's on radar to bother you, though. And for much of the area, there won't be tomorrow either until perhaps later on tomorrow night. What we're watching is actually way out to the west. You see sort of the beginnings of it way over here near where this front is. That's the start of the energy that's going to make this system here in DC as we get into Saturday night and Sunday. So this is 1 o'clock Saturday. It's, not perfect blue, but there are some patches of sunshine out there. Temperatures jumping into the 40s. It'll feel better than it's felt for most of this week in terms of those temperatures. Now, by tomorrow evening after sunset, there is the chance that it's going to start as some scattered mix, maybe some rain even, as temperatures, again, they'll be above freezing for most of the night tomorrow night, up until about midnight. And that's when the stronger push of cold, dry air starts slicing in. And you see as early as 10, 11 o'clock, snow starts to develop across the DC region. This will be a very short-lived snow. This is not going to be an event that goes all day Sunday. It's mostly falling while we're sleeping here in DC, unless you have late-night Saturday plans. We don't judge.
Maybe.
Yeah, hitting the club. Maybe I'm
Not
hitting the
this
club.
guy, but-
No, hitting John Cena. Is John Cena on Saturday night?
I wish
Saturday
I
night.
could
Saturday
go.
night?
That's right.
So what time Saturday night?
I don't, he's kind of the main event, so we
Yeah.
don't
So
know whether
he's
it'll
in-
be first and we don't know if it'll
he's
be
gonna be
last.
last.
I think
Yeah.
he's
I
definitely
think it'll be
closing it out.
Yeah,
last.
he's the closer.
And it'll go for extra time,
But it
probably.
starts at what time? It starts at like 7?
I can,
7:30
event
says.
time start 7:30 p.m.
7:30. So that means as folks are getting out of that event, if they happen to be one of the lucky ones spending
big money.
mucho dinero to,
Right.
to go
500
down and
bucks.
see it. By the time you're getting out, you might start to see a little bit of light snow falling, but the key time is really after midnight. And you can kind of see this deeper blue on Futurecast. That's an effect we call banding. You're looking for this band to develop, and actually trying to pinpoint exactly where that band is going to develop is like the hardest freaking thing. It's like trying to figure out where a thunderstorm downpour is going to be.
Gotcha.
The model's going to suggest this is where we think it's going to be. It doesn't mean it's going to be exactly right. You sort of have to now cast this. What I do want to point out, and I've got a lot of questions about this, is look at all these areas out to the west and down to the south where
Yeah.
there's just really not much falling. There will be people who don't get much snow at all out of this event. So you really want to get stuck under this band if you're rooting for snow, which Futurecast suggests, sets up middle part of the overnight. It snows up until about 4 or 5 o'clock, and then it drifts to the south, and it gets out of here. Sun comes out by 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning. So timing-wise, it's a very quick hit. If you get stuck under that heavy band, like the model shows here, you could pick up, 2, 3, even up to 4 inches of snow very, very quickly. But it's not likely going to stick around too long because by the time you're waking up sunrise, sun may greet you, and then you have all day to kind of get rid of it. I also don't think it's going to be as expansive. I think areas up there have the best shot based on all the stuff I've seen tonight. DC, an inch or two, I think if we're lucky. I think the better upside potential is a little closer to Baltimore out of this. Our map kind of shows that 1 to 3 inches around DC. I think more closer to the 1 than the 3. You get up towards Baltimore and above, I get better chances of 2 to 4 inches up that way. I don't think impacts will linger into Monday, so I think schools, this isn't enough snow that it's hugely impactful. In fact, they haven't even put us under advisories. And they have a criteria for advisories here in DC. If it could snow during the rush hour, sure, but this is a Saturday and a Sunday, no
Right.
rush hour impacts. You have to get at least a threat for 2 to 4 inches to get a winter weather advisory. So far, they have not issued one DC Baltimore, so that tells me National Weather Service is on the fence of whether or not we'll even get 2 inches here DC. If they think we'll get less, they won't put up an advisory. So
Okay.
that's kind of your tall tale sign. We're watching it. I think it's quick, and then I do think temperatures, I'll show you this. I think we moderate towards next week. How about a day near 60? Haven't had that at
Oh,
all
thank
this
God.
this we haven't even had a day in the 50s.
Good.
No, we
Goodness
haven't.
gracious.
Yet,
All right.
Might get a little bit of a break towards the end of next week, and I do think we take a break from winter weather for a little bit after we get past this Sunday event.
Okay. So this takes us up through, today's the 12th, 7 days from now is the 19th.
Yeah.
So not ready to make any predictions for that Christmas
Oh,
week yet.
I'll make a prediction if you want.
Okay.
yeah.
Is it going to be
No
cold
snow.
or is it going to be warm?
It's going to be
No.
milder than average.
Milder than
Nice.
average.
Milder than average,
Yes.
and I don't think it's going to be a white Christmas.
That's okay. I just want. I
Fine
don't
with
want it
that.
to be. I don't want it to be near
Now,
60.
remember, the average is 48, I think,
Okay.
on Christmas Day. So above average, probably 50s or
Understood.
upper
Yes.
40s around then. It
See, I
won't
like
be
that.
summer, but it won't be Italia weather.
No, but I'll tell you, it was 58 over there every day.
Hey, we'll take that.
It was the best. Now let me ask you this. So with the freezing of the last couple of days and weeks, and also potentially into Sunday, could there be, with some of the melting, potentially icing going into Monday, or not at all?
We are going to be so cold. Look at that 7-day again.
Yeah.
We don't even make it above freezing Sunday and Monday. So what does fall probably sticks around in that regard. I just mean I don't think your impacts on schools and
Okay,
stuff
got it.
are going to, because you have all day Sunday to clean it up.
To clean the roads, right?
So, now look, this is DC. Is someone probably going to delay as long as we get what we get on Monday? Yeah.
Right.
I don't know what county it'll be, but this is come on. They look for any excuses to delay around here.
They kind of do.
But I think the vast majority of this won't have lasting impacts
Nice.
into the day.
No safety issues or like any advisories on the road, you think?
No, I really don't think so. I think just
Nice.
because of it all comes overnight, you wake up, you're brushing off. If you're up early Sunday morning, you have someone to be 7, 8, 9 o'clock in the morning, that'll be where you have your issues.
Got it.
Be careful about slick travel, sidewalks, that stuff. But
All right.
by Monday, I think we're back to normal. Just
Love it.
All right, we love it.
Too
We
much
love when
cold,
you
man.
stop
Too much
by,
cold
Mike
killing me.
Thomas.
Oh.
The
Where's it coming from? Like, it's like all this like
I'm
air?
most-
Is that what it
Those
is?
darn Canadians keep sending us
That's
their
where it's
cold.
coming.
Mike
Like-
Thomas, I'm
Oh
most
my God.
disappointed.
I love Canada.
I'm
but like-
most disappointed
loves
that
hockey.
it's not going to
Yeah,
snow
sure.
anytime recently because that's the only time you stop by and visit us here.
Well, you're
on
all the
live
way on
zone
the other
prime
side
time.
of the building. So
That
it's-
is
Oh,
true.
what a-
But
it's
you
a
know
long
what?
walk from the
Oh,
It's
the
crazy.
humanity.
It's crazy. We have these things called phones where we can
But
we
I-
can communicate.
But see, that's
without-
what the kids do. I like. seeing
Speaking
you
of
in
the
person.
kids, we see you guys in the Zoom room. We appreciate you. Thanks for watching.
Yes.
Seymour Butts,
Oh,
Ivana Tinkle. Clever. Appreciate it. All right.
This is my kind of.
We're gonna
super-
take.
God, is that-
I-
that
We're
makes sense.
Names like
we're
that.
gonna leave you with a little live picture from our camera, our Fox 5 Skycam at the wharf
Where's
on
my
this
outro music?
cold
The
night.
Polar vortex.
Polar
The
vortex.
Polar vortex.
The
Mike
heat
Thomas.
wave.
He goes, no.
We'll take a
Winter.
quick break.
You know, but
When
it's
we
good for
come
you,
back,
though. It's summer.
Tony P is going to tell us what he was watching on this Friday afternoon. We'll be right back.
Oh, that was good.
All right, welcome back to the Live Zone Primetime on this Friday night. I'm producer Chris. That's Tony P. Another busy day, Tony P.
Sure it was. I'll tell you,
It's
even
been
for
a busy
Friday, I
week.
mean, this city just, I mean, I think we're becoming the city that never sleeps.
Well.
New York is known as that. I think with everything going on in this city, including the White House Christmas party tonight, we got that and all the things I got on this list that are happening just in our little city here.
All right,
So
well, let's dive right in,
I
shall
have
we?
a doozy for you, my friends. So starting off, we're going into the world of legislation. House Republicans unveiled their health care plan today, setting up a vote for next week without extending the Affordable Care Act subsidies that expire at the end of the month. Their proposal expands association health plans and imposes transparency rules on pharmacy benefit managers, but notably excludes any subsidy extension. GOP leaders will allow for a separate amendment vote on extending the tax credits, though that's expected to fail. Without action, 22 million Americans will see their premiums more than double starting in January, with an average jumping between $888 and $1,904 annually, respectively. A historic preservation group today sued President Trump to halt construction on his $300 million White House ballroom project. The National Trust for Historic Preservation argues the administration demolished the East Wing and began building the 90,000 square foot ballroom without required federal reviews or public comment. The lawsuit claims President Trump violated multiple environmental and administrative laws by bypassing Congress and 2 federal commissions. A judge scheduled a hearing for next Tuesday on the group's request to stop all further construction. The White House says President Trump has full legal authority to renovate the building. Speaking of President Trump, his economic approval rating hit a record low of 31% today, with new polling showing that most Americans feel poorer this holiday season, despite administration claims of success. 57% of voters say President Trump is losing the battle against inflation, while an AP poll found 68% rate the economy as poor or very poor. The president has called affordability concerns a hoax and gave his administration an A+++ rating, even as grocery store costs rose 2.7%, as well as electricity jumping over 5%. In the world of sports today, former Michigan football coach Sharon Moore appeared in court today, charged with home invasion, stalking, and breaking and entering after a shocking firing and arrest this week. Prosecutors say Moore barged into his ex-girlfriend's apartment on Wednesday, grabbed kitchen knives and scissors, and threatened to kill himself, telling her, "My blood is on your hands, you ruined my life," unquote. The women have reported their inappropriate relationship to university officials on Monday, leading to Moore's termination. Moore, who was Michigan's first black head coach and led the Wolverines to a 17-8 record over 2 seasons, was granted $25,000 bail and ordered to wear a GPS monitor and stay away from the victim. He was taken for a mental health evaluation after his arrest, but not admitted. His next court date is January 22nd. The TSA today is providing immigration and customs enforcement with passenger lists multiple times per week as part of President Trump's deportation push. The New York Times reported that ICE matches the lists against its deportation database and sends agents to airports to detain people. The program, which began quietly in March, led to the November arrest of a college student at Boston's Logan Airport, who was deported to Honduras 2 days later. A Homeland Security spokesperson said the message is clear. The only reason undocumented immigrants should be flying is to self-deport. In the world of business, food companies are racing to capitalize on fiber maxing, the latest nutrition trends sweeping social media. Pepsi, Coca-Cola, and Nestle are all launching fiber-rich products, as research shows 54% of consumers want more fiber in their diets. I have to be one of them, Chris. The trend has Generation Z leading the charge, of course, with thousands of TikTok posts showing creative ways to hit daily fiber goals. Whole Foods named fiber one of its top trends for 2026, calling it the next big health trend following protein. In the world of royalty and entertainment today, King Charles shared a rare update on his cancer journey today, announcing his treatment will be reduced in the new year. In a video message for the Stand Up to Cancer campaign, the 77-year-old monarch credited early diagnosis, effective intervention, and adherence to doctors' orders for his progress. Also in Hollywood, actress Haley Steinfeld and Buffalo Bills quarterback Josh Allen announced they're expecting their first child today. The couple, who married in May after getting engaged last November, shared the news through a sweet video on Instagram showing Allen kissing Steinfeld's baby bump in the snow. Steinfeld, who also turned 29 today, also revealed the pregnancy in her Beau Society newsletter as her 29th favorite moment of the year. And finally, in the world of TikTok as well, TikTok's latest Hollywood craze is bringing back a Victorian-era tradition, Chris, with a maximalist twist. DIY paper chains are exploding across the platform as part of what creators are calling the anti-beige and little woman aesthetic movement. Unlike the loose color conservative chains of the past, 2025's version features chunky, tight loops and vibrant colors, such as red, pink, and purple as well. The trend is part of a larger crafty Christmas movement that's rejecting store-bought minimalism, I'm using a lot of terms tonight for architecture, in favor of handmade nostalgia. All you need is colorful cardstock, scissors, and a stapler to create the garlands that are defining this year's holiday decor. So I'll tell you, I mean, we're going beyond the AI slop of the 1990s and the housing era.
Yeah.
We're now going into just decorations as well, from cookies and cakes all the way to kind of little the little.
Do you still have like the
little
handmade
banners thing.
decorations that you like made as a kid?
Yeah, I sure do. You kidding me?
Yeah, do you
Absolutely
still like
love
put them
those.
on your tree back home?
I sure do.
Yeah.
It is truly one of my favorite things to do. My mother has, I think, everyone's from kindergarten all the way through like 6th grade.
Okay,
So
yeah.
I got to tell you, and they're still in decent condition. My handwriting was awful then, and it is now, but it's starting to be a little more smudged. So I think it actually looks better that it's smudged versus when it was in its full body of writing.
Do you have a tree right now? Do you have? Is your
do.
apartment decorated?
I sure do. So I actually have some videos coming out about that in the
Okay,
coming
well,
days.
I'm
So
eagerly looking forward to that.
I have some new decorations at my house that I'm going to put on quickly before I head over for the night. I'm not staying at my house tonight, but I'm going to do a little bit of hanging things up before I head over there. So.
If you don't mind, I know we talked about this offline, so if you're not ready to talk about it yet, that's okay too.
You're fine.
But you talked about how you are trying to watch a different Christmas movie every night
Sure
as
am.
well.
Yes.
I believe you started with Scrooge.
Scrooge, yes.
Which is a Bill Murray classic, of course, directed by Richard Donner. The classic story, but in a very... Also, Bobcat Goldthwait in that. Now,
Yes, right.
if you're
Oh, my
not
God.
a product of the
I'm like, wait a minute.
80s,
I had to, like, process that one.
He was, I mean, probably best well known for his role in like the Police Academy movies. He was unhinged. His voice was kind of like his signature thing. He's been live in studio before too. He's a really interesting guy.
Who else
Doesn't
we
sound
had in
like
these studios?
I know they come through the Fox 5. They sure do. What are you watching next? What else have you watched?
So I have one from 1945. So we're going to go 40
okay, so
years
throwback.
back. We're going to Christmas in Connecticut. It's kind of a comedy movie. Again, I hadn't seen it before, but it was suggested by Ben Mankiewicz's TCM show, and I love him as a host and what he's done there. So I'm like, let me try this out, and watched it last night, and I loved it. We posted about the movie Prancer today, more of a kind of a comfort, children's movie, a lot of fun.
I remember watching that one in like grade school.
Right. So I'm doing a lot of deep cuts. I have some deep cuts. I'll do, of course, some classic ones next couple weeks, but we're going to stick with some of the deep cuts for now.
I'll recommend what my...
Give me some. Give me a list.
Well, I'll recommend
I'm still
one.
making it.
Well, I'll save it for a little closer to the holiday, one that I watch every single year, and it's a definite deep cut.
Let me ask you.
I tell the story on air every year about how I came across this movie and why I watch it every year, but we'll get into that.
I got to ask you, I'm thinking about watching Mixed Nuts from 1994 with Steve Martin. He plays
I've never seen it.
He plays like the head of a suicide hotline. I hate to use a term on a Christmas season, but of like a mental health hotline. And I guess like there are people that come in and out, and it's like a Christmas celebration, I guess, with mental health mixed in. It's an interesting movie. Has Adam Sandler, it's one of his first movies, and Liev Schreiber's first film appearances there too.
Okay,
So,
I'm not
you haven't
familiar with
watched
that
it?
one.
Oh my
so
God,
if
man.
you watch it, please report back and let me know
1994, I may have
whether
to
you
put that up there.
recommend it.
I can't find it on
or
Tubi.
not.
I got to go look for it.
Okay, well, you've got, listen, I mean, all of them have put out their holiday collection, so I'm basically scrolling through on any given night to try to find
do more
something
research.
to watch. Yeah, I mean, look, there are just so many out there. There's one called Trapped in Paradise. Have you ever seen that?
No, I haven't.
Trapped in Paradise is Nicolas Cage, John Lovitz, and Dana Carvey.
Oh,
three
that
bank
sounds-
robbers.
oh, that's great.
It's set in
That's got to be good.
I think it's set in like Paradise, Pennsylvania. Yeah, that's why it's called Trapped in Paradise, because
Right.
they're trapped in the town of Paradise. They're three bank robbers. They rob a bank, and then they get snowed in, and they get trapped. And the town's like so nice, they feel guilty. It's great. It's a little bit of a deep cut.
Yeah.
But it's a Nicolas Cage classic, and I
they
love
all become the fan.
Nicolas
Isn't the
Cage.
Family Man kind of a Christmas movie too?
I believe that it is, but I've never
99?
seen it. I've never seen that one.
Tia
either.
Leone, it's a solid movie.
Yeah,
It kind of has like the It's
Nicolas
Wonderful
Cage
Life motif a little bit.
as My friend Detective Jake Peralta would say on Brooklyn Nine-Nine. The guy's got range.
He does have
We're
range.
going to take another quick break. We're going to leave you with a little live picture from some of our cameras all across the region and the country. When we come back, it's cold outside, but we're spicing things up because we are going to hear from former NFL player and Mean Machine Spice Adams. He teamed up with Red Baron Pizza for what they're calling the ultimate fantasy football punishment. We're going to talk all about that and get some hot takes from him coming up next. All right, we are back on this Friday night. We don't care what Tony's watching anymore. Let's get rid of that
thanks.
banner.
That's real good.
Let's talk about
Nobody
that.
cares what I'm watching.
No,
okay?
that's not true. We
Only
do care,
me
but we have moved on.
and my Christmas tree.
We have moved on.
My tree at home cares about me.
Well, we still do care
I talk
about
to the
that.
tree. You know I do that, right?
You have to. You
gotta
got to talk to
to
the
it.
plants. That's how you know.
I'll
that's
watch it.
how-
I'll put the lights off and just watch the tree light up.
Tony P, do you play fantasy football?
I do. I
Are
love
you in
it.
any leagues currently?
I'm in 2 leagues.
How are you doing?
Awful year for me. I may be pretty close to either second to last place or getting close to that awful prize
Yeah.
that my crews have for me that's in store. I've done a lot of cameos for other groups of fantasy football
really?
guys, and I've had to be like the draft connoisseur, the commissioner, and I've had to
so
unveil.
good.
I've had to unveil some of the
I
awful
love
things
that.
that they have to do if they lose. So it's
What are some of the best?
the best one. First of all, the names of some of the names of these leagues.
Yeah.
I can't say it on
Well,
air.
that's okay. But what
man,
are
they're
some of
funny.
the punishments that you've had
Oh
to...
my God! Well, one of them. Oh God! So they had to do like a push-up challenge until their arms couldn't do it anymore. They had to do a push-up challenge. They had to do some guys they couldn't do the pull-ups. They had to do like mini pull-ups. What was another one?
Man, guys are just
God!
dicks to
no,
each other.
yes, shocking. I know. No. Then we had to. One of them was a reading challenge. They had to read like a bunch of oh God, like it was like a bunch of self-help books from like, again, and I love Mel Robbins, like a couple of Mel Robbins books and like, an Oprah book.
Look,
and again, for guys,
some are
they're not
hilarious.
reading a lot of those books.
Some
so.
are hilarious as well. But look, for a lot of fantasy football participants
those
and
books.
owners, this is the last regular season week before the semifinals and then the
Yes.
finals. I am sitting in second to last place as well. I think it would be really difficult for me to lose outright at this point.
Oh, so
but
you
never
got a
say
cushion.
never,
You got a cushion on
because
you.
I have several times. However, it's time to separate the winners and the losers, okay? And if your league is still looking for a way to punish whoever comes in last place, good news, because Red Baron Pizza has teamed up with former NFL player and meme machine Spice Adams for the ultimate punishment. That's what they're calling it. That's why that's what it says at the bottom of the screen. I got a chance to talk to Spice all about that and more. And we should note that this interview was sponsored by Red Baron Pizza. Take a look.
Before we dive right into the monstrosity in front of you that brings us here together, I just want to acknowledge for all of my viewers out there that while they may not know your name right off the bat when they hear it, they absolutely know your face because you are the man behind one of the most iconic memes of all time. So I just wanted to start by asking you, what is that like? And are people just coming up to you nonstop, rubbing their hands together and licking their lips?
That's what it seems like a lot of times. And a lot of times I'm off with my kids in these awkward situations, and they're just looking at me like, oh, he knows who you're. Oh, okay. Like, we didn't know. Like, so a lot of times it's very awkward, and sometimes it's in awkward places. But it is what it is.
The Red Baron humble pie is what brings us together, like I said. And I see you've got a pair of safety goggles in front of you. Do you want to explain why?
Well, this particular pizza is the humble pie. And everybody knows about Fantasy League football. And usually in Fantasy League football, there's a loser and there's punishments. And some of those punishments may be, oh, you got to sprint a marathon, or you got to do push-ups, or you got to do sit-ups for 3 hours. Like, whatever the case may be, they make up all these different punishments. But what Red Baron did, which is genius, they made a humble pie. But this is the spiciest humble pie you ever want to see in your life. So this humble pie has the Red Baron Carolina Reaper sauce. It has spicy mozzarella ghost pepper cheese. The pepperonis are sprinkled with cayenne pepper. There are habaneros on here, and there are jalapenos on here. And there's habanero flakes all over the whole pie. So if you are bold or daring enough to take a picture with this pizza, you'll have to eat it with these glasses, because if you get some Carolina Reaper sauce on your fingers and you rub your eye, that is going to be a long day for you, and it's going to suck. And my teammate, Peter Tillman, was probably one of the guys who got some of that stuff in his eye, and he was putting milk in his eye. I seen this guy put milk in his eye. You don't want to be that guy, all right? But what's so cool about this is if you lose, you can also reward your whole team with a classic Red Baron pizza.
Spice, have you tried it yet?
I have not.
Have you tried this pizza yet?
You have to lose. You have to lose to eat
You have to lose.
pie.
All right.
And I'm not losing. I'm not losing. So
right.
I wouldn't know what it tastes like.
Since we're talking about heat and your name is Spice, I wanted to get a couple hot takes from you, if that's cool. And first off, I know you're a Bears guy, but we're here in D.C. So my first hot take for you is D.C.'s own Caleb Williams or Jaden Daniels. Who you got?
I'm gonna go with Caleb, man. I can't do that.
I knew you would, but I had to ask anyway. Speaking of Jaden Daniels, here's our next hot take question. Should the Commanders sit him for the rest of the season, even if he's healthy?
Yes. That was bad. You know, let him get some time off from that. That was bad to like rush him back into that. And even though I know that's not his throwing arm, but, you know, he could make it worse. And it could have, like, lifelong implications for him, like, even when he's done playing football. Like, right now, I got a lot of back and joint problems and stuff like that. I didn't have that when I was playing. But, you know, it's starting to happen now. And, you know, so you want to look out for these young guys. I know they're young and they could bounce back from all these different injuries, but let's think about long-term implications when it comes to these young guys and what their health is going to look like when they get older.
Yeah. All right. So I know you're a Bears fan. I know you played for Chicago, and I know you watched them beat the Birds on Black Friday. What is wrong with Philly? That's our next hot take.
Who cares? Who cares? Like, y'all already won y'all Super Bowl. Recent. They're talking about the Bears. Let's talk about what the Bears did right. Talk about what
who
Philly
cares?
did wrong. Yeah, who cares?
Who cares?
Who cares?
All right. Fair enough. I understand. All right. Let's stay in the NFC East, though. Next hot take. Is Dallas the team to beat in the NFC East?
Why? Why would Dallas be the team to beat?
They're the only one with a winning streak at this point.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess you'll give them their props, but I think everybody is getting healthy at the right time. I think Quentin Williams can't hurt. You know what I mean? So they got some dogs over there, man, and the DBs are always good there. So and then you got Dak.
Last question. After a career in football, did you ever think you'd be as famous for playing basketball as Bigums, excuse me?
No, man, that was never on my bingo card. I was just telling my friend the other day, I'm probably the only athlete that has been on Madden and NBA Live at the same time. Like, I'm probably the only athlete to ever do that, you know? So I'm making history here. You know, I'm a big deal. I'm a big deal.
Right.
I'm just going to say it, you know? But I never saw this coming, man. It was never on my bingo card. But, you know, God is good, man. And I'm just having fun, man, and enjoying retirement. And taking care of my family, man.
I love to hear it. If people want to pick up a humble pie for their fantasy football league, how can they do so?
They go to redbaron.com/humble pie between now and December 15th.
All right, Spice, thanks for spending some time with us here in DC. Have a great day.
No problem. Thanks for Caleb, man. Appreciate y'all.
No problem.
Like I had something to do with it.
Yes,
All right.
you did. But
You
listen,
heard
hey.
Spice. You can enter for your chance to get a free humble pie until Monday. Just go to their website. But we actually have one here in studio with us that
Look at
Red
this
Baron
thing.
was kind enough to send us
Oh,
before
my
this
God.
interview. You see Tony's got his goggles on. He's got his gloves on because you do not
This
want
is
to get
radioactive,
too
this
close.
thing.
Yeah, seriously. Literally just sitting here next to it. We can smell it through the box.
Caution, look, they got
It's got the caution tape
caution.
on it. They shipped it to us in a box with
Exclamation
like
point
hazmat logos all over
Look
it.
at it.
And look, it's small,
Yeah.
but mighty. Wink.
Oh, yeah. Oh, this
Heard
has
that
got
before, right?
This
All
has
right.
got some serious energy to it. I can
Tony
almost
P,
feel it sizzling in my mind
all
here.
seriousness, would you ever eat something like this?
I mean, you know what? A man honors his debts. So if I had to, I would totally eat it. But if I had a choice in the matter, like if I could choose other means of torture, I would not eat this thing.
Does your
Because,
fantasy
I'll tell you,
league have a punishment already picked out?
We do.
Do you mind if I ask what it is?
So it's funny. So you have to wear not an ugly Christmas sweater, but
Okay.
an ugly sweater
Just an ugly, like.
for an entire week.
Ooh.
That's
The
a big
same one?
The same exact one. And you
So-
can't wash it.
So basically, if you come to work and we're sitting here and you're wearing the same ugly
lost.
sweater 2 days in a row, we know you lost.
Yeah, and or I just didn't do my laundry. So you may have to go 3 days for that. But I will
6 of
say
one,
this.
half dozen of the other.
I'll say this though. You know what? As Kobe Bryant always said, Chris, you know, if you're not first, you're in the second place is the first loser.
That is true.
Ricky Bobby said if you're not first, you're last.
That's right.
So I think
So,
everybody that
wise
doesn't come in
words.
first should get the loser prize. And I'll tell you, this one here, this is caution. Specially formulated for fantasy losers. Crafted to make last place managers cry.
Yeah.
So,
seriously.
I mean, this is why they have
I
the
mean,
glasses. This is worse than onions.
The
I mean,
thing,
my God.
and I apologize to everyone out there listening right now, but the thing I can't quite stop thinking about
Yes.
is not how it would feel going down, but how it would feel coming out. And on that note, that's
someone
what
get
I'm gonna-
Metamucil
That's
as a
what I'm going to
sponsor.
leave you on. We're going to
Or
take a live look
Prilosec.
from Fox 5 Skycam up at Frederick, Maryland. The Christmas lights lit up. It looks a little like hazy down there on the
does.
water, doesn't it?
Just a little bit, man.
A little, I don't know if that's a little cloud cover, a little mood.
We're getting ready
music,
for
or
that
a little,
awful
little
snow
mood
that's
setting,
coming,
you
my
know,
friend. We're getting
a
ready
little
for it.
dry ice or something. Anyway, I don't know.
Dry
Maybe
ice.
it's just foggy there. Do you see what I'm seeing?
I'm seeing
all
it.
along the boats there. All right.
Do
anyway,
you see what I see?
we're gonna take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Here we go.
All right, we're back down to the final 10 minutes on this Friday evening. We are no longer talking about Spice Adams and
I still have
those
these
other
on, though.
things, but Tony's still got his glasses
I
and his
kinda
gloves
like these,
on
I don't
because
know.
he likes to come prepared, and he's kind of like a scientist. He's the scientist of this show.
Oh, God,
He's the
come
brains of the
No,
operation,
are you kidding
I think
me?
it's safe to say.
Listen, you're the one on the entire situation here with all the buttons and making this show run. You are the scientist, my friend.
No,
But
I'm just,
I like
I'm
to
just
play
the hired
scientist.
help. I'm the
I like to
hired
play
help
scientist.
pushing the buttons.
I used
All
to
right.
love experiments, like in school. You should have loved wearing these.
Yeah?
I just kind of reliving the old days a little bit.
All right. Well, it is a Friday night. We've made it through the weekend. It's going to snow, apparently. So if you're looking for something to watch, to stream, to hunker down and do this weekend, and besides John Cena, because like we
Yes,
said, you can
John
stream
Cena.
that tomorrow night on
Legend.
Peacock. There are a couple other options, and we're
We have
starting
done
off
something that
with
no one
Christmas
has ever
coming
done.
early.
Ah, yes.
For
Yep.
the Swifties.
Executing a tour.
Taylor Swift dropping 2 presents for the Swifties today. This is a clip from the end of an era. It's a 6-part docuseries that pulls back the curtain on the pop star's record-breaking tour. Now, the first 2 episodes are out now, but as they say in the infomercials, Tony P, there's more. But wait, there's more.
Of course
Because you
there
can
is.
also catch the Eras Tour, the final show. It's a live recording of her final concert, the final stop on the Eras Tour. That was in Vancouver, and that
Whoa.
was last December.
Right.
So just about 1 year ago. Both of those, so the first 2 episodes and that final concert show are streaming on Disney Plus now. Are you a fan? Have you seen the Eras Tour? Did you watch the last Disney Plus live concert?
So they had
live?
we went to see the new album documentary. My girlfriend and I saw it at one of the AMC theaters
Mm-hmm.
in Maryland. I think it was a couple months ago now. But she literally just texted me and was like, "We're gonna watch the documentary this weekend." I said, "Okay."
Yeah.
So I haven't responded to text.
I mean,
yet. I'm
it
gonna say,
looks
"Okay."
good.
I'm watching it. I can't wait to watch it. I actually do. I love the live show stuff. I still have Neil Diamond's old live shows, Tina Turner's live shows on
Mm-hmm.
DVD and VHS. So I love that she's doing this for the final show. I love live
she
concerts.
puts on a hell of a show.
Well
too.
done. I think
you don't
it's really
even
good
have
marketing,
to.
and the dual gifts dropping it at the perfect time so
Yeah.
you can watch for the next 2 weeks and it's still relevant.
Yeah, those
This is
new
why she's a
episodes will
billionaire.
drop.
She is a brilliant businesswoman on top of
No
a great
question.
singer. So I think wonderful stuff. I'm looking forward to watching it. I mean, I just want to kind of see what goes into a tour. I think we see a lot of behind the scenes, day in the life content is very well on social media.
Mm-hmm.
And that's because people want to see what's under the hood, man. They want to see what all this stuff takes.
Yeah.
How do you put a show together? How do you put a music video together? How
What
do you
she-
film
what
a whole
What's
show?
she saying to Travis the whole time? We want to
I
know
want
that
to see
too.
some of that. Well, did you see
Because
T-Left?
obviously
Yeah.
that whole relationship from start until
Yes, there's
engagement,
part of that.
whole span right, there,
that tour.
that basically that
People
tour,
don't remember
their
how
whole
big
relationship.
that tour was. It was 2+ years across the world.
If you're not a Taylor Swift fan, we've got some other options for you as
What do you
well,
got?
because Benoit Blanc is back for an all-new Knives Out mystery. Now, I don't know if
Okay.
you've seen the first 2.
I
but
haven't,
This is part of the trailer for Wake Up Dead Man is what it's called, and it is the 3rd installment in the Knives Out franchise.
All
This
right.
reunites star Daniel Craig with writer-director Ryan Johnson. These are whodunits. So, like, remember
Right.
the old Hercule Poirot or whatever his name
Yeah,
was?
yeah,
Come
yeah,
on, you
yeah.
were just in Belgium. You can
Yes.
say it, right?
No, not really.
Okay. Anyway,
I can't do
there
Dutch
were some
or
great
French.
remakes of those movies with Kenneth Branagh recently. There was a trilogy of them.
He's
they
a
were,
great
they were
actor.
these are you know, this sort of thing where everything comes together at the end and he tells everybody
And Glenn Close.
how they were. Yeah. Star-studded ensemble includes Josh Brolin, Mila Kunis, Glenn Close, Josh O'Connor, Kerry Washington, Jeremy Renner, Andrew Scott, and more.
This is like a super. This is like the Miami
Yeah,
Heat
they
of
all are.
2011.
I highly recommend if you haven't seen them, check them out. The first one had like Chris Evans. The second one had Dave Bautista. They have, they're great.
Speaking of
You can
wrestling-
catch this one streaming on Netflix now. Let me show you the poster. Stand by. Ready? There it is. You can catch it
That is
streaming on
nice.
Netflix now. We have a couple of other new shows out. They were the movie/docuseries, and we're going to start off with something that's for fans of holiday. I mean, this isn't a movie, it's a show, but holiday shows and British humor. Rowan Atkinson, Man vs. Baby. This one, 4 episodes, all out on Netflix now. And I was talking about Rowan Atkinson earlier. Have you seen Love Actually?
Of course I have.
Of course you have.
I think he's a Pope Catholic.
Listen, everybody, you can have your opinions on it. You can have your favorite stories. You can hate it, whatever. Rowan Atkinson's like 5 minutes in that movie where he is working in the department store and he is gift wrapping the gift that Alan Rickman has bought for his mistress, and he wants to dip it in yogurt and just the scent of a cinnamon stick and everything. It is just the best part of the movie, in my opinion. Rowan Atkinson, a genius.
Rowan Atkinson.
Rowan
Also, Mr.
Atkinson.
Bean's Holiday.
Also, the voice of Zazu in the animated Lion King.
Really?
If you remember
wow.
correctly. Yeah, just can't wait to be king. You can catch his vocals in that. A couple of other new things out this week. Paramount Plus has the new limited series Little Disasters. Stars Diane Kruger, tells the story of an emergency room doctor treating one of her friend's children for an unexplained head injury, and then the dilemma over whether or not to make a report to Child Social Services and the impact that could have on their friend group. Disney Plus also has the second season of Percy Jackson and the Olympians. Hulu has the second season of Dance Moms, A New Era. And then Netflix has Simon Cowell, The Next Act. This is like part docuseries, part like search for a new boy band, but it also touches on him opening up about the death of Liam Payne, former One Direction member. Remember, Simon Cowell is responsible for One Direction being what they are. Also, if you're interested, Bel Air finale. That's streaming on Peacock now. Season 4. This is the grand finale. It's a spoiler, but it's been out there. A huge guest cameo at the end of the finale that has some major ties to, the original Fresh Prince. So you might be able to guess who that is. All's Fair finale is out this weekend as well. This is the Kim Kardashian legal drama that got some really terrible reviews. F1 the movie is streaming on Apple TV Plus for the first time. So if you have Apple TV Plus, you can watch it. It had only been pay on demand before.
Right. And for those of you that are about 4 or 5 years behind on every show like I am, Morning Show is still on Apple TV, and it's a great show, especially if you love the world of broadcasting like I do. Truly a great show. And also in the entertainment world, just want to say this is a big birthday shout out to the chairman of the board, Frank Sinatra, turned 110 today. 110 years of age. The king of just incredible music, a true, I would say, paisan pride as an Italian-American, true pride, and the pride of Hoboken, New Jersey as well, who riveted us for 60-plus years with his incredible songs, great movies, as well as a wonderful Christmas and holiday album. When he sings Silent Night, that's my song every single night before I go to bed with the tree lit. Frank Sinatra's Silent Night, I almost cry every time. And also, folks, he was the guy that got me into crossing my legs as a man. And I'll tell you, this is how real men of class.
I sit like
go
this.
into meetings,
I catch myself doing
legs,
this
do a little
all
Sinatra.
all the time. And look, if you're a chronically online person like I am, and people are giving Gavin Newsom crap for crossing his legs.
You took it right out of my mouth.
Give me a break.
Listen, let me just say this.
Give me a break.
Listen, and I hate to say it, I don't mean to be throwing shade, but from talentless comedians like Adam Carolla that say that, I'm not really taking what he says seriously because, look, I think he's just
West Virginia Ben in the YouTube comments, love Bobcat. Remember when he had a show on TV for a while? West Virginia Ben, if you are still watching, do you remember Capital Critters, where Bobcat Goldthwait was the voice of one of the rats? That was what I remember. I always remember Scrooge for that song with Annie Lennox and Al Green. Put a Little Love in Your Heart. Yes, that is on my Christmas playlist that I listen to every single day. West Virginia Ben says, a hazy shade of winter, referring to this live picture that I showed. That is a perfect description of what that is. She blinded me with science. I have Poirot on DVD. West Virginia Ben, you are our loyal viewer. We appreciate you for jumping in the comment section. What part of West Virginia, I wonder? Let us know in the comments what part of West Virginia you're watching from. Anyway, have a great night. Fox 5 News at 10 is next. We'll see you next week.